you need to identify what your reason for doing it is. You know, are you doing it to impress girls? Are you doing it, to, because, you want to be skinny and you've always been big? You've got to find the reason why, and that reason's got to be strong enough for you to commit, not only financially, but commit time in busy schedules to do it. And that reason has got to be, you've got to have belief, and you've got to back yourself when you think, okay, this is why I'm doing it, and just commit to doing it. I want to be healthy. I want to lose weight, which is what everyone who's training and does. But I also want to be able to, get back to some type of playing football, which at the moment I just feel like I'm not there. And when you train with other groups or with other boot camps or things like that, you're training, everyone's training doing exactly the same thing, and it's not tailored for specific individual needs. When I met Alessandro told me that he had a different type of training. It was functional fitness. I didn't know what that was, but then I realized it's actually, it's a type of training that's, it's not only specifically designed for individual cases, but it's also a lifestyle change, and you have to accept responsibility. It's easy for me to say it's his fault, or it's his fault that I'm not training, but at the end it's my fault. If I make a mistake, I own it. And right now, I know that it's hard for me to maintain discipline when it comes to exercise and healthy eating, because there's so many outside influences that make it. Your friend's got a party at his house, and you go there and okay, I'll have a couple of beers, and you this beautiful pasta comes out, and you're gonna. So there's so many things that they get involved. And when you're younger, it's okay because you're young. You haven't got but as you're getting older, your body changes. Your body composition starts to you start degenerating. It's just human nature. But there's ways of slowing down that process. And it's eating healthy and exercising, and the good thing about you is that, I'm accountable. I know that if I'm training with you the next day, maybe I won't have that beer, because, I've got to train tomorrow, and at the end of the day, if anyone's to blame for me not succeeding, it's me. I've been a footballer my whole life. I started playing soccer when I was 5 or 6 years old. And then progressively, as I, started hitting my 40s, once I hit my 40s, I realised that my body was not reacting and recovering as well as it used to. And I did get an injury to my knee, which affected my recovery process, and it's a knee injury that probably needs, I need to deal with it in the next few years before it gets worse. I'm 48 years old. I went to the gym. I used to go to the gym, and I did, some of the, the team training that you can get through boot camps and things like that, but I just found that it wasn't tailored specifically for my needs. Well, when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 20s, when you're a teenager, 20s, 30s, what happens is that you don't worry about your physique because provided you maintain your activity, you can stay pretty lean and pretty fit. Healthy maybe not, because you're eating a lot of crap. But once you hit your 40s, it changes and you're not exercising as much. You start potentially drinking more alcohol. You start eating, greasier foods, and because you're time poor and you don't have time to prepare healthy meals, you're eating on the go sometimes, and you're not making the right choices. So for me, and I know it's a combination of exercise and diet is what I need to do. But how do you get that? How do you get there? If I go train at the gym on my own, I don't have accountability, because I can get there, I can do something for half an hour and say, you know what, I've done enough, I'm going to go get a burger because I'm starving. I'll pick this up again tomorrow. So there's no accountability. You need to be accountable for the work you're doing. It's like in business, you do things for specific reasons. And if no one's watching your back, or there's no, there's no punishment for you, making a mistake, then you just keep making mistakes, and which is what I've been doing, trying to train myself. I mean, it's about prioritizing, and, you prioritize, and for, when you're in your 30s, your health isn't your priority, really. Like in your 20s and 30s, maybe even 40s, most people's health isn't their priority. It's funnily enough that once you start, getting closer to old age and dying, that you start thinking more about your health. And that's the reality. You know, in the early years, you think about making money, you know, finding love, traveling the world, all these things. You know, you're not thinking about your health. You're not thinking about eating healthier or, you know, exercising or, you know, doing what you possibly can. Because, you know, I'd love to live till I'm 90. I would. Do I think that currently the way I live my life, will I get there? No. I don't think, because, you know, I drink alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink every day, but I drink alcohol. I haven't exercised for a long time after I stopped playing soccer, even though I'd been playing for so long, and I just feel myself it's almost like I'm letting go, and I don't want to let go. Yeah, what do you eat? Did you have enough water? And that's right. I mean, that's the difference. For me, I think, you know, I said this to you before, you know, when you go to the gym, for me, it's more meditation, because I can take my own paces or whatever, you know, and to some degree, but it's not really helping me. When I'm with you, you know, it's hard, and I know that, you know, I won't say that I hate it, but I don't like it because I know I'm going to be pushed. But you've got to push yourself. If you want to get better at anything, you have to challenge yourself, you know, and to improve, you have to challenge yourself. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sooner or later it becomes a habit, and then you love it, you know, and then you get to the point where once you get over that hurdle and you push yourself, and then I want to push myself to another level, you know. So I don't know how far I can push myself physically. I've never really pushed myself physically, you know. But it's a decision. I mean, I've played soccer, and I've played soccer. I won't say a high level, but a mediocre level. But you know, it's been one of those things where I've constantly, you know. But I didn't push myself to that next to breaking point, you know. And, you know, sometimes you have to. Anything's possible in this life, I think, if you really commit to it. You know, 99% of people fail because they don't fully commit, and they'll try, and when it gets too hard, they stop. And what I said before about challenging yourself to that point of breaking and then getting over is where people fall. In business, in relationships, in, you know, whatever, you know. You get to a point when you challenge yourself, and particularly, you know, like I said, there's been days down there when we've trained, and I've just felt like, I've got to quit, and mentally, I'm like, my mind's already quitting on me, and then I think, and then all of a sudden you've got to think, no, I've got to keep going. And I think that's you know, like I said, you've got to have the right reason for it. And once you have the reason, and you have the goal, then you just got to put your head down, bum up, and go for it.